She said, "You're too soft. Real men don't complain." When I opened up about my anxiety, I didn't argue, I just shut down. When she finally needed my support, I wasn't there. Original post. I, 29 male, had been with Madison, 27, for 3 years, living together for 1. Up until 6 months ago, I thought we had something solid. That was before I made the mistake of being vulnerable. Started having anxiety attacks last year, work stress, family health issues, general life pressure. Nothing dramatic, just that chest tightening, can't breathe right feeling that hit randomly. Finally went to a doctor, got diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. Started therapy. Was actually making progress. One evening, we're having dinner. She's talking about her coworker's dramatic boyfriend who cries at movies. "Madison, it's so cringe, like be a man, you know?" Something in me decided this was the moment. Maybe it was the therapy. Maybe I was just tired of hiding it. Actually, I've been wanting to talk to you about something. I've been seeing a therapist. Fork stops halfway. What? Why? I've been dealing with anxiety, like actual diagnosed anxiety disorder. The doctor thinks it's been building for years. Her face, man, I'll never forget that expression. Like I just told her I was secretly a furry or something. Anxiety? Isn't that just being nervous? No, it's more than that. Sometimes I can't breathe properly. My chest gets tight. It's been affecting my sleep, my work. Babe, you're too soft. Real men don't complain about their feelings. They just deal with it. I am dealing with it. That's why I'm in therapy. Therapy is for people with real problems. You have a good job, nice apartment, a girlfriend. What do you have to be anxious about? Tried explaining how anxiety doesn't need a reason. How it's literally a medical condition. She kept dismissing it. Madison, my ex was the same way, always whining about his feelings. That's why he's an ex. I need a real man, not someone who needs hand-holding. I'm not asking you to hand-hold, just understand. I understand perfectly. You're being dramatic. Man up, Marcus. This is embarrassing. That word, embarrassing. Not my anxiety. Me. I was embarrassing to her. Didn't argue. What was the point? Just said, okay, and changed the subject. But something shifted that night. A door closed inside me. She wanted a real man who didn't complain? Fine. That's what she'd get. Stopped mentioning therapy. Stopped talking about how I felt. Stopped caring, honestly. When she'd vent about work drama, I'd give minimal responses. That sucks. Rough day, hope it gets better. She didn't notice at first. Too busy with her influencer aspirations, 5K followers, and she acted like she was Kim K. But I was withdrawing. Emotionally checking out. She wanted a robot? Beep boop, here you go. 3 months passed. I'm functioning on autopilot. Work, gym, home. Therapy twice a week. Never mentioned it. Taking my meds. Getting better, actually. Just without her. Then her world imploded. Started with her dad. Routine checkup found something concerning. Needed more tests. Suddenly, Madison's crying every night. Calling me at work. Sobbing. "Madison, I'm so scared. What if it's serious? What if something happens to him? Hope it works out." That's it? Hope it works out? I'm falling apart here. That sounds tough. She stared at me like I'd grown a second head. Why are you being like this? I need you. I'm here. No, you're not. You're just there, like furniture. I need emotional support. The irony was so thick you could cut it with a knife. Me. Real men don't do emotional support, remember? We just deal with it. Her face went pale. That's different. How? Because this is real. My dad might be sick. And my anxiety wasn't real? She actually rolled her eyes. Even then, facing her own crisis, she couldn't admit she'd been wrong. That's not the same thing at all. You were just being sensitive. This is actually serious. Okay. Went back to my Xbox. She stood there, mouth open, then stormed off. Update 1. 2 weeks later, her dad's tests came back. Benign cyst. Needed monitoring but nothing serious. You'd think she'd be relieved and we'd move on. Nah. She was mad. Mad that I hadn't been her emotional support animal during the scare. Started a whole campaign to make me care again. Love bombing. Cooked my favorite meals, badly. Girl thought salt was a food group. Bought lingerie, tried initiating deep conversations. Madison, remember when we used to talk for hours? Yeah, I miss that. Tell me what you're thinking about. Nothing much. Come on, open up to me. The jokes write themselves, honestly. But here's where her entitlement went nuclear. She started weaponizing my anxiety against me. Told her friends I was emotionally abusive for not supporting her during her dad's health scare. Conveniently left out the context. Her best friend Chloe called me. Chloe, Marcus, what's going on? Maddie says you're being cold and distant. Just dealing with things like a real man should. What does that even mean? Ask Madison, she's the expert on real men. Word got back to Madison. She was furious. You're making me look bad to my friends. How? Telling Chloe that cryptic crap. She thinks something's wrong with us. Something is wrong with us because you won't let it go. I said one thing months ago and you're still punishing me. I'm not punishing you. I'm being what you asked for. A man who doesn't complain or share feelings. That's not what I meant. It's literally what you said. She tried tears. I handed her tissues and went back to my game. She tried anger. I gray-rocked like a champion. She tried threats. Madison, if you don't start acting like my boyfriend again, I'm leaving. Okay? That's all you have to say. Me, what else would you like me to say? That you love me, that you'll fight for us. Real men don't get dramatic about relationships, right? She threw a pillow at me. Missed. Storm out. Came back an hour later like nothing happened. The cycle continued. But then she escalated to social media, posted a crying selfie with some long caption about being with someone who refuses to grow and emotional neglect. Her followers ate it up. Comments full of, "Dump him, queen, and you deserve better." Didn't react, just screenshotted everything for later. Next day, she brings her mom into it. I come home from work and there's Margaret sitting on my couch. Margaret, Marcus, we need to talk about how you're treating my daughter. Hello, Margaret. This is unexpected. Madison is suffering. She says you've become emotionally unavailable. Interesting perspective. She's been crying for weeks. A real man takes care of his woman's emotional needs. I actually laughed. Couldn't help it. Me. A real man? Madison's the expert on real men. According to her, real men don't have emotions to share. I never said that. Me pulling up my phone. Want me to check my therapy notes? I wrote down the exact conversation. You're in therapy? He's being dramatic. Some work stress and he runs to a therapist. Me. Diagnosed anxiety disorder, actually. But Madison thinks that's embarrassing. Real men just deal with it, right, babe? Margaret looked at her daughter. You said that? Madison. Not like that. He's twisting everything. Showed Margaret the screenshots of Madison mocking men who show emotions on social media. The posts making fun of soft guys. The comments about her ex being too sensitive. Madison, this is disappointing. Mom, you're supposed to be on my side. I'm on the side of what's right. You can't mock someone for having feelings, then demand emotional support when you need it. Madison lost it. Screamed at both of us. Called me manipulative. Called her mom a traitor. Stormed to the bedroom and slammed the door. Margaret, I'm sorry, Marcus. I didn't raise her to be like this. Me, not your fault. Margaret left. Madison didn't come out for hours. When she did, she acted like nothing happened. Made dinner. Tried to cuddle during a movie. I didn't push her away, but I didn't engage either. Just existed next to her. That's when she made her biggest mistake. Update 2. 1 month later, Madison decided if she couldn't get emotional support from me, she'd find it elsewhere. Enter Bradley, her coworker. Started mentioning him constantly. Bradley's so understanding. Bradley really listens when I talk. Bradley gets what I'm going through. Cool. Good for Bradley. She'd stay late at work. Come home talking about deep conversations with Bradley about life and feelings. Girl was about as subtle as a brick through a window. Me. Sounds like Bradley's a good friend. Madison. He's more than that. He's emotionally available, unlike some people. That's nice. She was clearly trying to make me jealous. Spoiler, didn't work. I was too busy focusing on my own healing. Therapy was going great. Anxiety was manageable. Even got promoted at work because I wasn't constantly stressed anymore. Then came the night she didn't come home. 2 a.m. she walks in reeking of wine. Were you worried? Me, no. Figured you were with Bradley. And you don't care? You're an adult. Make your choices. I could be cheating on you. Are you? No, but I could be. Okay. She literally screamed in frustration. Then tried a new tactic. My therapist says you're emotionally abusing me. You're in therapy now? Yes, because of what you're doing to me. What does your therapist say about you dismissing my anxiety? That's not relevant. Seems pretty relevant. You're deflecting. This is about your behavior now. That's when I made my move. See, I'd been planning, not revenge, exactly. Just protecting myself. You're right, this isn't working. I think we should separate. What? Me, you're clearly unhappy. I'm unable to provide what you need. Best for both of us to move on. You can't break up with me. I'm the one who's suffering. I'm not breaking up with you. I'm suggesting we take space to figure things out. Where am I supposed to go? Bradley seems supportive. Maybe he has a couch? She went ballistic. Threw things, her things. I'd moved anything valuable of mine. Screamed about 3 years wasted. Threatened to ruin my life. Madison, I'll tell everyone what you did to me. Me, what did I do exactly? Emotional abuse, neglect, gaslighting, because I stopped sharing feelings after you said real men don't have them? That's not what happened. Pulled out my phone, showed her the recording. Yeah, I'd recorded our original conversation about my anxiety. Legal in our state for personal use. Her voice, clear as day. Real men don't complain about their feelings. This is embarrassing. Madison, you recorded me? I record all my important conversations now. Therapist's suggestion helps with the anxiety to have concrete proof of reality. She tried to grab my phone. I stepped back. I already backed it up, multiple places. The entitlement drained from her face, replaced by panic. You can't share that, it's private. I won't, unless you try to spread lies about abuse. Then I'll share the full context. She packed that night, went to her mom's, blasted me on social media anyway, but vaguer this time. No specific accusations, just toxic relationship and knowing your worth. I posted once, just the audio clip of her saying, "Real men don't complain," followed by her text begging for emotional support. Caption, "The same energy you give out comes back. Treat your partner's mental health with respect." Her followers turned on her quick. Comments flooded with people sharing their own stories of partners who dismissed their mental health. She deleted everything. Went private. Last I heard from mutual friends, she's dating Bradley now. He's very emotional and sensitive. She complains about it constantly. Still posts quotes about wanting a real man between posts about mental health awareness. The cognitive dissonance is chef's kiss. Final update, 3 months later. Thought I was done updating, but the universe had one more gift. Got a text from an unknown number. It was Bradley. "Hey man, this is Bradley. Can we talk? Met him for coffee." Dude looked rough. I need to know, was it always like this with Madison? What specifically? The constant emotional demands while dismissing my feelings? The public humiliation? The gaslighting? You lasted 3 months. That's actually impressive. Turns out, Madison pulled the same script. Bradley opened up about his depression. She called him weak. He withdrew. She freaked out about losing emotional support. Rinse, repeat. She posted that I was emotionally manipulative for not comforting her during a work crisis. I was literally in the hospital with a panic attack. Sounds about right. How did you handle it for 3 years? I didn't. I handled it for 2 years and 9 months. Last 3 months I just stopped. I'm already at that point. Then you know what to do. He did, broke up with her that week. She went nuclear on social media again. But this time Bradley had receipts too. Screenshots of her mocking his antidepressants. Texts calling him less of a man for crying about his sick mom. The internet is undefeated. She got dragged harder than a tire behind a truck. Lost most of her followers. Last post I saw was about taking a social media break to focus on healing. Meanwhile, I'm doing great. Still in therapy. Anxiety is managed. Dating someone new, Sarah, who literally checks in about my mental health and encourages me to talk about feelings. Wild concept, right? Ran into Madison's mom at the grocery store last week. "Marcus, how are you?" "Good, really good, actually." "Good. I heard about everything. I'm sorry." "Not your fault." "How's Madison?" "Living at home, unemployed, saying all men are trash while wondering why she's single." "Sorry to hear that." "Don't be, she needs to learn. Maybe this will teach her empathy." "Doubt it, but who knows." Not my problem anymore. The revenge wasn't some grand plan. It was just showing her exactly what she asked for. A man with no emotional availability. Turns out that's not actually what anyone wants. They want emotional support when they need it. Just don't think men should have the same needs. Madison wanted a real man who didn't complain? She got one, and lost him because of it. My therapist calls it natural consequences. I call it poetic justice. To anyone reading this dealing with similar, your mental health matters. Your feelings are valid. Anyone who tells you otherwise doesn't deserve access to your emotional world. Man up? Nah. Human up. Feel your feelings, get help if you need it, and drop anyone who shames you for it. Peace out. Got a therapy appointment to make.